We are right back at it. Switched it up on y'all this morning. Sometimes that's what happens in life. You got to be flexible. You got to be adaptable. Normally we go live in the evenings. I apologize for those of you who were expecting us to do day 13 at 7:30 p.m. today. I got some business stuff to do, but guess what? Rain, sleet, snows, whatever the circumstance, we still gonna get this 1 mile in. And so we're gonna get it in the morning. Welcome to Common Sense Buffs, the Colorado Buffaloes football channel. That's also a community of fans who want to succeed off the field. Welcome to the 1 mile challenge. It is day 13, lucky number 13. And today we're talking about building an iron will. If this is your first time here, you might be a little bit confused. I thought this was a football channel. Why is this dude walking on a treadmill? Well, we're a community of fans that not only want to see the Buffaloes succeed on the field, but we want to succeed in our personal life because it's all about succeeding on and off the field. So, the way we're starting that process of succeeding off the field is every single day we're committed to walking 1 mile a day. Now, the way I get my 1 mile in is I use a treadmill. So my wife and I bought this treadmill about 5 years ago. It's a Nordic Track T6. It's not the most expensive thing in the world, but it's super reliable, and it allows me to walk every day, rain, sleet, or snow, no matter what the weather is. Just come down in the basement and get it in. So I put the link in the description if you're in the market for a treadmill. This is a pretty good one. All right. So if you've been here with me every single day of the journey, I want you to type in the comments, day 13. If this is your first time here, it's not too late. We're going to be walking 1 mile a day for the next 30 days. And then we'll probably switch it up a little bit. Hopefully at that time, walking a mile a day will become a habit for you. So we'll continue to walk a mile a day, even though that's going to be after the challenge is complete. And then we'll add something else. Another thing that I'm integrating into my routine is mobility. Man, I'm in my 40s now and stuff just gets sore, right? I don't even have to work out. I'm just sore. And so what we're going to integrate next after the first 30 days of making walking 1 mile a day a habit is we're going to start working on our mobility, our joint mobility, and our flexibility. Before you get in the gym, at least this is my approach that I'm taking, before you start lifting weights, you want to make sure that you are functionally fit. You want to make sure that you can move in different planes of motion. You want to make sure that you're flexible, right? Because you're going to prevent injury, guys. The most important thing in working out is preventing injury. And that's why we started with walking. Because walking is accessible to most of us. Human beings evolved to walk. It is low impact, and you can choose your own pace. So for me, I walk at a 3 mile per hour pace. That's enough to get me warmed up, but I can still have a casual conversation without being out of breath. At 3 miles per hour, that means I can walk a mile in 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes today to get right. And really, it's not about the 20 minutes. It's about getting yourself to do it. Because once you put on them shoes, you get outside, or you get on the treadmill, walking the mile is not the hard part. It is the will to walk the mile that we need to work on. That's what we're going to talk about today. All right? Where does will come from? Where does will come from? What is the source of your will? Let me know in the comments. Do you struggle with willpower? When you make a goal, when you make a commitment, once the commitment is made, do you struggle with keeping commitments? And I'm not talking about commitments to other people. That's a side and more complicated thing. Why we make commitments to other people, why we say yes when we should say no. There's a lot of social pressure to say yes to certain things, to certain people, etc. Let's set that aside. Why are you either hesitant to set goals, or hesitant to make commitments to yourself, or when you make commitments to yourself, really, in the back of your mind, you know you're not going to keep them? Let me know in the comments. Because if you don't deal with that, you're not going to be able to build, keyword here, build the life you want. You're not going to be able to build the life you want unless you're able to make commitments to yourself and keep them. That's what this is about, making commitments to yourself and keeping them. And in order to do that, you got to build an iron will. Now, let's say you're trying to build a house from the ground up. If any of you have ever had the great fortune of being able to build your house from the ground up, you know that it takes a lot of time. The first thing you got to get in your mind is that building an iron will is not an overnight thing. Go talk to anybody who's accomplished anything great, and if they were to tell you their real story, not the social media version, not the clean, photoshopped version, I mean the one that finds them on the brink of bankruptcy. I mean the one that finds them like Coach Prime. If you guys have ever heard him speak, he had all the success, material success around him, but his life was empty. Most people gloss over those stories, and all they want to look at about Coach Prime is the Nike contract and the Colorado contract and the Blenders contract. But there were times in that man's life where no matter what you could see on the outside, he was ready to end it all. That's a fact of life for anybody who is successful. Not the end it all part, but the part about the ups and downs that are going to come when you try to change yourself or you try to do anything hard. That's where most people give up. It's not at the top. Right? Sometimes it's at the top, and when the top ends up being empty, meaning you chase something and it doesn't end up doing for you what you thought it would do for you. That's one place where people despair. But the other place where most people despair who haven't made it to the top is when it get hard. God, the hard part is part of the deal. Let's see who's in the chat. Betty's in the chat. Big shout out to Betty. I love that the ladies are starting to join the channel. It says, you look younger than 40. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Every day is a leg day. Never skipping leg days. Listen, the shape of your legs, do you know it's a predictor of your longevity? How muscular, how toned your legs are, because those are very large muscle groups, is a predictor of longevity. Take care of your legs. Take care of your feet. A lot of older people suffer from mobility issues, knees, joints, hips. We sit a lot, guys, and that's why I'm going to emphasize mobility after we get done with this 30-day walking challenge. Loosening up your hips, having great flexibility in your quads, having great flexibility in your glutes, in your hamstrings. All of those muscles, tendons, pull and tug at your knee, at your ankle, at your feet. You're carrying extra weight. You don't have to be medically obese, but just extra pounds puts a lot of pressure on your internal organs and on your joints. Walking just 1 mile a day, right? And just making small adjustments to your diet, right? Just small adjustments. Not even any major change, but the act of being active every single day, walking that mile, you can shave off 0.2 to 0.3 pounds per month. Now you're looking at me like, 0.2, 0.3, what is that going to do in a whole month? That's how you build an iron will, guys. That's what they talk about. There's no such thing as an overnight success. What you want to walk a mile a day and lose 10 pounds? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can walk a mile a day and lose 0.2 to 0.3 pounds of fat. I'll take that. I'll take that. Because in a year, that's 1.5 pounds. In 10 years, that's 15 pounds. I'll take losing 15 pounds of fat over the next 10 years. 1 mile a day will do that. Most people don't have that kind of patience. And guess what? The thing about the human body is it's going to adapt to walking 1 mile a day. And then you're going to find yourself either speeding up your 1 mile pace because you're more physically fit, or you'll find yourself walking longer distances because what? That 1 mile a day is going to become enjoyable. And whenever something becomes enjoyable that was once hard for you, it means you've had an identity shift. It's less about walking 1 mile, and it's more that you've become a person who walks 1 mile. And that's what we're all seeking in life. We're seeking to become the person that does X. Not that I save money, which is an act, but you want to be identified as somebody who saves and invests their money. Meaning, the person who saves and invests their money gets joy out of it. They get joy out of it. So we're not just talking about physical fitness. We're talking about mental fitness. We're going to talk about spiritual and emotional fitness, relational fitness, and of course, we're going to get into finances. So this is the Colorado Buffaloes channel where you're going to be succeeding on and off the field, guys. All right, I see you guys in the comments. Appreciate you being here. Memberships are now open. We just got our first member, Laura Morgan. Big shout out to you. A lot of y'all have been showing some love as well with the rubies. I'm learning all about that, where you can support the channel through rubies and all of that good stuff. So thank you. But you also support the channel through your presence being here. So hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Every single day we're walking 1 mile a day, guys. Let's get up and let's get at it. Appreciate you. Somebody says hi. What do you consider a good meal or diet? So for me, there's things that I know if I adapt them into my diet, I could actually maintain. So for example, for me, I know I can eat a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast with blueberries and a banana. Or I can eat yogurt with blueberries and a banana. Or I might eat like some eggs and some spinach, right? For me, that's a healthy breakfast. Now, I'm terrible about the rest of the day because I'm always on the move. So one of the first things I try to do is just get off to a good start, right? And then over time, I feel like as I build good breakfast habits, I might be more inclined to build good lunch and dinner habits. But the thing for me is I'm not trying to transform my whole life in one. I don't know, man. There's some people that can go cold turkey like that, not me, right? Old habits die hard. I'm still a seeker of convenience. I'm not trying to transform my entire life at once. We're trying to build this thing brick by brick, guys. So I walk 1 mile a day. I'm committed to having a healthy breakfast, and I do my best to drink as much water throughout the day as I can. We'll deal with lunch and dinner as I become a better version of myself, right? That version of me is yet to come. But this version that I'm able to manage right now, I'm gonna make it the best version of myself that I can make it. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question about good meal. I think having this mile as part of my routine helps me a tremendous bit. Adding mobility also helps me as well. This mile and this activity is going to help loosen up those hips if you walk. If you sit a lot throughout the day, this mile and this activity is going to help you get healthier sleep at night as well. All right, guys, so back to what I was talking about, iron will. Keeping commitments to yourself. Most people are not able to keep commitments to themselves about things that are hard, right? They can't do it. Whether it's physical commitment, oh, I'm going to read more, oh, I'm going to intentionally date my significant other, I'm going to be closer to my friends and relatives, I'm going to save money. We just can't seem to keep commitments to ourselves. And I ask you guys, what's the challenge for you? Go ahead and put it in the chat. What's the challenge for you? The challenge for most people is it's not going to happen overnight, guys. You're not going to change overnight. When you make a commitment, you're not going to be perfect. The way you build an iron will is small wins every day. And you're going to have to integrate 1 or 2 non-negotiables. For me, a non-negotiable is this 1 mile a day. If I fail at everything else in my life today, I'll walk the mile. What is that going to let my brain know? I am somebody who keeps promises to myself. I at least know that I could walk a mile a day. And I'm going to get that part done, because what I'm trying to build in my mind is neurological pathways that my subconscious can use to reinforce the fact that I keep commitments to myself. All right, to keep exercising every day, riding my horses. Oh, man, you're a horse rider. I love it. We got some horse farms not too far from where I live, so love it. You're committed to exercising every day. Listen, in whatever form it takes. For us here, it's walking 1 mile a day, right? But you're on that horse, you're wrangling horses, you're feeding horses, you're probably carrying some hay. I don't know if you work at the stables or work on the farm. All of that is exercising, but I think you mean in that structured type of exercise, right? Where I have a routine, I have a program that's gonna make me a better rider. Maybe I need to squat, I need to strengthen my legs, I need to get a little bit more upper body strength. You can do all of these things with your own body weight, by the way, which is the safest and healthiest way when you're first getting started with exercise to go. Just being able to move your body without feeling pain. That is the definition of fitness to me. I want to be able to touch my toes without my back feeling like it's gonna explode. I want to be able to get into a full squat position without feeling like I'm gonna blow my knee. Right? This is my definition of physical fitness. Not that I take off my shirt and everybody goes, oh my God, this guy's in incredible shape. No, but to be able to move and lift and move in different angles and have a pain-free life. That's what we all desire, isn't it? In my day job, I work in healthcare, man. I tell my staff all the time, with what we see every day in healthcare, that should either terrify you or motivate you. We can't control the future health-wise, but we can control the things we do every day to keep ourselves strong and healthy. That's what we should all aspire to do, because at the foundation that's holding up the house that is your life is your physical health. When you don't have your health, that is all you can think about. When you do have your health, it's the last thing you think about, which should be the opposite. When you do have your health, all you should do is obsess about the fact that you have good health, be grateful for it, and protect it. Because it's an absolute treasure, guys. Health is the real treasure. Good health is the real treasure. It is the real bag. Good health. Right? At any age. Jump up out of bed, lace those shoes on. You see these internet videos, these 70-year-olds running marathons. Why? They ain't just wake up at 70 and start running a marathon. They developed the iron will over time. They put their body through the stresses and strains. They elevated their mind to tell them that they could do something. You don't think that 70-year-old ever went through periods of injury that tried to sideline them? Well, what they do when obstacles hit, they exercise their iron will. I'm going to get that surgery if I need to, but I'm going to get back to running again. I'm going to go to physical therapy if I need to, but I'm going to get back to running again. Why? Not because it's a thing I do, it is because it is who I am. We're all working towards what we do becoming who we are. That is the key to an iron will, guys. I appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Yeah, and help build more muscle in my legs and arms. Yeah. Body weight, push-ups, sit-ups, squats, body weight squats, lunges, Cossack squat, where you're squatting like from side to side on one leg. Working out muscle imbalances. One thing that I need to work on, in addition to my mobility, is balance. Okay? Being able to stand on one leg for an extended period of time. Being able to lean forward on one leg and still be balanced. Center of gravity. As you age, not only do you want to be mobile, you want to have great balance. Most times people have muscle imbalances, one side of their body being stronger than the other. You want to have a balanced body. So all of those things are integrated into fitness, guys, not just what it looks like on the outside. Trust me. Everybody wants what it looks like on the outside, but really, you want to have the fundamentals right. You want your entire body to be built on a great foundation. That's what we're doing here, guys. So listen, big shout out to Laura Morgan, our first member. She's locked in with us, walking this 1 mile challenge. Check out memberships if you're interested. Some of this video, some of this content is going to be for members only. Of course, you can subscribe, you can like, and then if you're a football fan, right, if this has attracted you because we're doing this fitness stuff, but you're a football fan, we have a lot of football content about the Colorado Buffaloes on this channel, all right? So like I said, that's a mile, guys. It felt like nothing. I'm walking at a 3 mile per hour pace, walk a mile in 20 minutes, and I'm good for the day. So I end every session like this. I pray that the Almighty is blessing you, that He is keeping you in good health, and that He is prospering whatsoever your hand touches. And if you're going through a hard time right now, remember, hard times don't last forever. So until next time, peace.